What's going on, you crazy gun nuts? Today I want to talk about reloading for suppressors. I've recently gotten into suppressors and we've picked up like 7 of them. And for the pistol calibers and your pistol caliber carbines, I've noticed a lot of blowback. And I hear a lot of people talking about getting gassed out shooting PCCs and handguns with suppressors on them because of all the shit blown back out of the port. Now, I wanted to do this. I went down this whole rabbit hole and I spent weeks doing research, checking load data, and I'll let you guys know what I found. And it helped me a lot because even people that shoot right-handed, because I shoot left-handed, so when I shoot a PCC, the ejection port is right in line with my face. And if anything comes out of that port, I'm catching it right in the face, and it gets bad sometimes. With the Ruger LC carbine, it was blowing shit right out of the port. That's a great gun, actually. I did a review on that. You can check that out if you want to. But you can see in the video I had to switch hands and shoot right-handed because I was getting gassed out so bad. So, going down this rabbit hole of research that I did, I found that different powder is better for suppression. And I'm going to get into a little bit more detail with that. Everything that I shoot suppressed with the N320 powder, I'm getting less stuff out of the port. It's actually quieter. I can load a full, almost max charge, and there's no audible difference between the minimum charge and an almost max charge. So I can run that powder a little bit warmer and get better velocities and still keep it subsonic. And I live in Ohio, so you also need to factor in if you have a drastic difference in temperature, because if you load around and go out and test it and it's 10 degrees and you go out and you shoot it and it's 100 degrees, it might be faster, it might be slower, depending on the temperature and the moisture in the air, your humidity. So you need to take a lot of that stuff into account when you do reload, especially reloading for suppression, because you can have a load that is right on the cusp of being supersonic. You got it loaded to 1,060 feet per second, and you check it when it's 10 degrees, you take it out when it's 100 degrees, and your load that was 1,060 feet per second is now breaking the sound barrier. So that's another thing you want to take into account, is making sure when you do reload, you keep your charge low enough that you have a variable between warmer and colder weather. But so far, the cans I shot out of for my pistol calibers have been the Bushwhacker 46 and the Liberty Cosmic. Both are extremely great suppressors. One seems to work a little bit better on a 45 than 9 does, which it's got to be with the construction of the can, because one is a stacked baffle configuration and the other one is a monocore configuration. And I'm planning on doing a video on those later, comparing the two cans, because they're both 45 caliber cans. Like I said, they're both great. I'm glad I have both of them. I really don't have drawbacks to either one. Now, as far as shooting suppressed, we've used a Strybog 9mm with the roller delay blowback. We've shot out of a CZ Scorpion, shot out of a FNX 45 Tactical. I shot out of the M9A4. We've shot out of the LC Carbine. We've used the Chris Vector 45, and they all seem to suppress pretty well. The Chris Vector, I'm really not going to recommend that for suppression, because the action of the gun itself is almost as loud as not even having a can on it. So I thought my 45 can wasn't as effective as it was, because the gun was so loud holding it. Like, the sound of the bolt coming back and smacking the buffer at the bottom of the gun was so loud, like it was right there at the cusp of being not hearing safe. So I really don't shoot that as much as I thought I would, because, well, I got it right here, this FNX 45 Tactical. This thing suppresses like a dream. I am so impressed with how well this shoots. We're going to do a video on this, but I want to put more rounds through it. I think I've got maybe 300 rounds through it right now. I don't really want to do a review on it until I get, a good 500, 600 round count through this gun. And every round I've shot so far has been suppressed. So if you're looking for a 45 to suppress, this is it. I mean, this is, so far from what I found, short of buying a Mark 23, this is phenomenal for suppression. We've shot 2 different cans on the Beretta M9A4. My wife has a 9mm suppressor, and I've got the 45 suppressor. We have a booster for each one of those. I don't have a booster for my Liberty Cosmic yet. I'm wanting to get the booster before I do the video on the can, just because I want to have, everything in one video, just to show that how well these things do work. But if you do have issues with especially factory ammo, and you're catching a lot of stuff in your face, you're getting excessive noise, you're getting excessive just garbage in your gun and in your suppressor, maybe switch up to a powder that is got like bigger flake to it. It's kind of hard to see here, but like I said, I'm probably going to roll this picture in a couple times. But the small tiny flakes, like in CFE, the whole CFE line, and in your auto comp and in tight group, they're very small flakes, and you get a lot of those flakes that are not burning, and that's what you're catching in the face. The larger, it almost looks like pencil leads in the N320, that seems to burn like 100%. I'm not getting any kind of residue in my can and in the gun after I shoot that. So it's burning, like the burn rate on that has got to be way higher than what it is with the other powders. I mean, because the biggest reason for having a suppressor is to have a quiet round that is more soothing for the shooter. And a lot of people are going to say that's not the reason you have a suppressor. You have a suppressor because sound reduction, and you have a suppressor for signature reduction, flash reduction. That's all true, but nobody wants to get a suppressor and not like shooting it. At first I didn't like shooting them because I was catching so much shit in the face. So that's why I made this video, because I just wanted to share my information with you guys, because this has made my suppressors like just so phenomenal to shoot. I've never had as much fun shooting as I thought I would with a suppressor. It's just, some of them are movie quiet. Now, I also load for my 223 and 308 and 300 blackout, and I load for basically everything I own I reload for. But I've seen a difference in those types of powders as well. Like if I use Varget as opposed to CFE 223 or like H335, it seems to burn cleaner through a suppressor with Varget than it does the other powders that, again, are the smaller flake. So for some reason, those smaller flakes are not getting 100% burn. It's leaving residue. Things are not getting burnt in that powder. But it seems like with the larger flake powder, all that's getting burned up, and it seems to suppress better. It's not as loud, and you're getting less blowback out of your port. Now, I can't show you how to reload on YouTube because they got so much restriction, but I'm going to start posting to Rumble showing more reloading. And right now I'm going down another rabbit hole trying to find the best powder for my 300 blackout, because I'm using CFE black at the moment, and that is disgusting. That is some nasty powder. I think I shot 150 rounds or 160 rounds through the 300 black without cleaning it, and it looked like mud. Like it was brown and just gross. So I'm trying to find a cleaner powder for it that's maybe a little bit quieter. And a lot of people think this, since you have a suppressor, it's all going to be quiet, but your powder makes a big difference in your signature reduction and your sound reduction shooting through a suppressor. Because if you have all that burning, all your powder is burning before that bullet leaves the barrel, before that action comes back, if you still have powder burning, you're going to get port pop. So the less port pop you get, the more pleasant it's going to be to shoot, and the less blowback you're going to have in your face. That's why I'm liking these other powders, and that's why I'm telling you, try the Vitavorith N320 or N310. There's a 330 and I think a 340 that are good for pistol. I haven't used none of those powders except for the N320. So far in my experience, the N320 is end all be all. It's a good powder. I don't get the velocity out of that I do out of CFE pistol and power pistol as well, but it's clean. Like, it's a super clean powder, and it's just phenomenal. But if you guys would like more information on this, and like my actual, I can show loading this, let me know, man. I'll post some videos on Rumble. That way they don't get demonetized or give me a channel strike on YouTube. And if you got any questions about any of this, man, let me just ask me. I'm no expert reloader, but I have reloaded for long enough to know what works and what doesn't work for me. And if you want to pick my brain about anything, feel free to ask. ask in the comments or shoot me a message. My information's in the in my about info on my channel. But as always, man, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and let's take back our Second Amendment.